Hello, I'm John Binnie, and welcome to England. I'm here in the north of England with my little dog Patch. Now that's not how people in the north of England talk, and maybe how anyone talks in the world. But I wanted to welcome you along to a little walk and talk with Patch and I. And thank you for all your really beautiful, kind comments. It was really lovely to hear that you enjoy walking with us, going on a bit of an adventure and just exploring. And yeah, we're here for a few days. This is the beautiful north-east of England, and it's a little seaside town called Amble. We're just quite close to the centre and going on a little walk. Yeah, I wanted to share some recent experiences. I guess there's a few experiences, a few personal experiences to share. First of all, I want to show you some of these skies. Look at this. It's so cool. You know, if you're wondering whether some people are up to stuff in our skies, yes, they absolutely are. They are busy painting our skies. With what? I'm not entirely sure. I have some ideas. And I have some ideas why. I would say that the general idea is to hide a lot of what's going on right up above us. And there's a lot of magic in the skies, right? In some of my first early awakenings, just in the first 2-3 years, there was these experiences I'd have about seeing dragons initially in dreams. I remember seeing this big dragon. It was kind of like I was really up close to it. It was facing forwards, and I was kind of stood to the side of it. And in this dream, I was just like stroking its back. Like that was the first memory I had. This must be, I don't really know, like around 2018, 2019. And then I also started to see dragons in the sky. And that was incredible, because when I experienced that, there was these big clouds that stretched out right across the sky. And what was really cool was these big dragon clouds felt very wise, very loving, very supportive, and that they were really there to help, like protectors, like just looking after us, looking after me. And at that time, there was a lot going on for me. There was a lot of disturbances in the area where I lived. In fact, immediately just around my house. And yeah, that was just a whole thing all by itself. Should we go a little bit further up here, Pitch? He seems to want to. And we're seeing more and more. What are all the names? UAPs, USOs, UFOs, drones, lots of things in our skies. So yeah, some of the messages when I've been asking my guides about the drones, we might famously call them, name them as the drones over New Jersey, but also they've appeared lots of different places around the world. And I was asking about them, and the general message, or the theme between the different answers I was getting, was first of all that they're human, but they seem to be like, how to describe it? Oh, Patch has just decided to do a poo right here on the street, which he never does. He usually finds a bush. Just when I was getting to the crux of an important answer to an important question. Wow, Patch, that's an amazing decoration you've given me. Thank you. Let's see what I can do here. It's quite hard. So, yeah, where do I start? After picking that up. Oh, there's a bin here, that's good. Come on, Patch. Yeah, it was a great moment as Patch poos on the street, and then a dog off the lead, who is very interested in him, comes running over with the owner there. And if you haven't noticed, I'm like recovering from anxiety about Patch often getting attacked by other dogs. I think in part because he's not scared at all of any dog of any size, and he's not neutered, so he's like the perfect combination. He's like a small fighting dog with one tooth. Yeah, so anyway, back to the drones. Come on, Patch. These ones that we've seen are human made and controlled, and that they are the problem for which there will be a solution. And it was quite funny because when I was shown that, the solution could be, for example, increased patrols of existing technology we're aware of in the skies, or the introduction of more UFO-like technologies that are in our skies, or this kind of fear programming to keep us indoors so that we couldn't see what's going on. And almost like there's a problem, there's something bad in our skies, you must hide from it. And it's like they're just really interesting. What I also find really interesting is not getting like a super clear answer, and I feel it's because there are multiple answers, multiple potential timelines. But the general theme is, if you take a step back and don't worry too much about the detail, is that it's part of a fear program in 2025. I mean, it's already started, right? But it's all about this kind of fake alien invasion, another way for us to feel scared and to control us and to isolate and separate us. And all I continue to see through meditation, the messages from my guides, and including, I just recorded this morning an asking aliens your questions video, which was just fantastic. Thank you for your questions. It's almost 30 minutes of that, and what was really lovely is just continued themes of unity. Just hearing that it's really simple, right? Like, we all feel love. We all have love for one another. We all have loved ones, and it doesn't matter where you're from in the universe. This is true. Even the darkest entities and energies of this universe feel this also. So I think that's a really important thing for us to keep in our minds and keep in our hearts. Come on, Patch. Come on, buddy. I think I can just turn into one of these estates. That's what I'll do next. So kind of come into a dead end. There are lovely walks, but there are wee walks to get there. Like, I was going to say nature walks. I don't really know where this goes, Patch. I guess we can find out. Yeah, and I love those messages of unity. I mean, what I find fascinating about unity is that it can feel, I don't know, some of our or my, you know, more immediate human reactions to unity, or sometimes friction against it, could be things like, well, how do we all remain, you know, sovereign in unity, you know, individually sovereign. I think a lot of that comes down to, you know, your definition of unity. And for me, yeah, it's very much about being unique and individual, and yet at the same time being part of something bigger. I don't think this takes us where I want to go, Patch. We'll turn around and enjoy the sunshine. Come on, Patch. Patch wants to stop a lot here because a lot of places to sniff. And yeah, also those themes of, you know, being unique. I think a big part of unity is feeling connected in our shared themes, like the things that bind us, like the fact that we have families and loved ones, friends. You know, we get to choose all these, but to know that across the universe that's all true for us, and yet we are so wildly unique individually, and that our uniqueness, everything that's different about each other, is something to be celebrated. I just love that so much. It really resonates with me, and for all the challenges that we have here on Earth, never mind any of our galactic friends, is you know, this kind of hate and fear that we have towards our differences of each other. And if we could choose to celebrate it, it would be a fantastic start. And you know, we don't all need to live together, right? We don't all need to. We can share the same planet, the same home, but we don't need to live in the same towns, cities, countries as each other, as we have a very broad frequency range. As in from very dark, low vibration, fear and shame emotions, to very high vibration, joyful and unconditional love. And you know, I love that. I love that we get to choose who we're with, what frequency we're at. The frequencies of those that we're around, whilst we can't control them, we can choose who to be around and who to connect with. I'm just laughing because it feels like this video started like, oh, I'm just here for a few days in Amble, and now I'm rambling on about unity and this whole planet. But yeah, it feels like a really important year for us to, you know, it's just an amazing opportunity for us to step more into our power, more into our divinity, to know that everything we seek is within us. Like today's meditation message was, I mean, they're almost always surprising to me. In many respects, that's why I ask my guides for messages, because they always have great messages. If they're pretty boring, then like if they said something like, John, you should go for lunch today, it's like, okay. Or they just say, John, you should go to the toilet today. It's like, yeah, these are messages that are hard to write songs about, guys. Although I guess you can write a song about anything. So yeah, it's just really funny to reflect on the power of these messages. Anyway, their message was all about looking within first. So they were saying, first, look within. And the first thing was about ghosts, and saying, you know, why are we intrigued by, or many of us, including me, intrigued by ghosts? And simply because there's this part of us called our soul that lives, you know, for as long as we wish, you know, relative eternity. But our human form doesn't. You know, our human form just exists for as long as we look after it and as long as we choose in each lifetime. And that's really fascinating, because it's that kind of hunger, you know, when you see it within yourself, it's like, I think inside myself I have an infinite soul, Like, it's phenomenal, right? Like, just reflect on that for a moment. It's so cool. And in other words, there's part of you that's infinite. So when you're constantly faced with humans who we largely describe ourselves as finite, I think it's a really fascinating experience, because you realize that, you know, there's an opportunity for us to really feel into all dimensions of us, and then how we hunger or react to or deny the things that go on outside of us and around us. We can go around this way, a bit away from the busy road. And then they also, in today's meditation message, also spoke about the why we're so interested in aliens, galactic brothers and sisters. And it's because first of all, inside of us, we have aspects of our DNA that are, you know, to our knowledge, not fully understood, and that a lot of this, you know, including the way we look and are right now as humans, has been, you know, parts of the journey with, how to describe it, like hybridization and engineering and collaboration with other galactic beings. And that's one reason why there's such a strong connection with Lyrans at the moment, is because they have, like many, but they were one of the first races to connect in with the humans and work with us and help them acclimatize to this planet. So, and vice versa. And I feel that's really, really fascinating. So this is why they come through around this time, is because through into next year, it'll be pitch. It'll be even more important to, you know, support the integration and the messages, and physically meeting people. And on that note as well, a shout out to Sarah, who I was chatting with this week. You can see her on TikTok, she's Sarah, and then on Instagram, UFO Girly, and we were chatting away, and it was really lovely for the conversation to continue down a path of, it feels like this is a year where more people will meet their guides, their galactic brothers and sisters in person. And yeah, for me it was just I keep getting the year wrong, 2020 or 2021. I only just watched the video of myself doing this and saw the date and posted in my community page about it. But yeah, that's when I saw my guides visiting in the Galactic Federation ship Athena. Physically, I saw them here. I also have been going through lots more like third eye activations, and one of them was like this morning. I was in our bathroom, and I was just lying in the bath, kind of daydreaming for a moment. And I love how this is where these you know, a lot of these magical things happen, not necessarily in the bath, but just when you're daydreaming. Was that I was looking at the shower cubicle, and I started to see the kind of glimpses of people that have used it over time, including the previous owners. And it was just fascinating to witness those echoes. Like we often think of our third eye and being able to see through walls, to see through, see through space, but not always to see through time. And you know, it wasn't a ghost. Like it was just like a living memory of that of those moments. So that was super cool. Anyway, that was a fun walk. Thank you for joining me. We're just heading back now, so we're sending so much love and hope you're all doing well and ready for an amazing 2025. Sending so much love from Patch and I.